President Trump just nuked the Democrats' narrative that he would alienate our allies. He would start World War III and make America a global joke. Well, just like always, the exact opposite is happening. President Trump is shattering the left storyline in real time. See, the Democrats' lifeline to winning elections is pretty much fear, chaos, and division, and that is evaporating right before their eyes. In fact, this video might be the biggest blow yet to what little credibility they have left, because we have a president who ends wars, all while the media ends the mic on Vice President JD Vance the second he drops a truth bomb on ABC. We'll get to that a little later in the show. As always, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, history was made today. Remember this guy, former McDonald's worker? Okay, maybe it was just for a day, but it was longer than Kamala Harris. And he just brokered peace in the Middle East. Yeah, the guy who once asked, would you like some fries with that? Just served up something a whole lot bigger: world peace and the release of the final hostages held by Hamas. 47 delivers again, another masterclass in the art of the deal.
After 2 harrowing years in darkness and captivity, 20 courageous hostages are returning to the glorious embrace of their families, and it is glorious. 28 more precious loved ones are coming home at last to rest in this sacred soil for all of time. And after so many years of unceasing war and endless danger, today the skies are calm, the guns are silent, the sirens are still, and the sun rises on a holy land that is finally at peace.
In Israel, the gratitude is pouring out. The people there crafted this stunning sand sculpture in Tel Aviv, the president's iconic silhouette carved into the tribute. And then on the ground, raw emotion. This family just learned their loved one is safe, back in IDF custody and on their way home to Israel. Crowds, they were seen lining the streets to welcome the hostages home. This man you see on your screen, he's frail, and he was starving in Hamas. In fact, video back in August showed him looking frail even then. And he was taken straight to the hospital for care, but tonight, he is a free man. Then there's hostage Bar Cooperstein, returned home to the surprise of a lifetime. His father, once paralyzed and nonverbal, spent 2 years learning to walk and speak again just so he could hug his son and say, I miss you.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. יוסף חיים. חיים שלי. חיים שלי.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם.
The final video you just watched, his family didn't even know whether he was alive or not until just this past February. You can just feel the release of bottled up emotion from all of them, and you certainly don't have to understand Hebrew to be moved by the words of these parents. Now, while families were being united, President Trump was busy signing a historic peace deal. Take a look.
This took 3,000 years to get to this point. Can you believe it? And it's going to hold up, too.
With one stroke of the pen, President Trump reshaped history once again. And he's not done yet. The next phase consists of getting aid into Gaza.
War in Gaza is over. Humanitarian aid is now pouring in, including hundreds of truckloads of food, medical equipment, and other supplies, much of it paid for by people in this room. Civilians are returning to their homes. The hostages are reuniting. I mean, it's beautiful. I'm just watching it backstage. The level of love and sorrow, I've never seen anything like it.
It's one of those days we're all going to remember exactly where we were when history hit play. And in true Trump style, he didn't just make peace, he made it picture perfect. Every world leader gathered in Egypt for the photo op. And of course, Trump's the one telling them, smile, folks, we just made the biggest deal in 3,000 years.
Just made a big deal today, so we'll smile. The biggest effort, right? Come back and get things.
Of course, no Trump moment is complete without a little dominance display. So did you catch the 20-second handshake with French President Emmanuel Macron? Trump handled him like, well, I don't know, similar to Emmanuel's wife handles him, like a boss.
Now, there is a bro shake. If ever I've looked, we won't let go. Okay, you let go. No, I'm going to let go. All right.
The message was clear. America is back in charge. And think about it. This is the same man the Democrats swore would divide the world, would make our allies laugh at us, and destroy diplomacy. Well, it turns out they were the punchline. These are the same Democrats who botched the Afghanistan withdrawal and got 13 American heroes killed. They are the ones who froze while Hamas unleashed terror. The ones whose leader fell upstairs, down stages, and asleep at summits, sometimes all in the same week. They weren't respected on the world stage, and now they're forced to watch 47 restore it all.
Efforts led by President Trump, who is genuinely a man of peace, who has relentlessly and untiringly worked throughout these months, day in and day out, to make this world a place to live with peace and prosperity. I would say that Pakistan had nominated President Donald Trump for Nobel Peace Prize.
The Prime Minister of Pakistan, he went on to say President Trump's team pulled off the impossible, which I think we can all agree with, a ceasefire and absolutely saving lives. For most leaders, that's a legacy. For Trump, it's just another Tuesday. He's already looking ahead, hinting that Iran could be next.
I think Iran will come along. They've been battered and bruised, and they need some help. They have big sanctions, as you know, tremendous sanctions. I'd love to take the sanctions off when they're ready to talk. But they can't really survive with those sanctions. Those sanctions are very tough. But at some point they're going to say, we want the sanctions off. We're going to end up with peace. I think Iran is going to be fine. And by the way, Iran did put out a statement, that they support this deal very wholeheartedly. So that was in itself something.
So whether Iran comes to the table or not, that obviously remains to be seen. But today showed us what's possible when true leadership walks into a room. It's a day that even lifelong Democrats are tearing up over. Listen to this caller from New York, again, a Democrat that called into C-SPAN.
This was like the best. He does it in his own style. We actually live pretty close to where he grew up. And, New Yorkers like Bernie Sanders are sort of different. They're funny, they're abrasive sometimes, but there should be a lesson to all of us that we can all live together. I think the future, if the Gazans really accept the goodness and the money that's going to come from the Arab community and from the world community, it can be a different world. And I'm sorry for being so emotional, but it's a great moment in history for everyone. And we have to reject hate. We have to reject Antifa. We have to reject Mandami. And we have to come together as human beings.
When Democrats in New York start getting emotional and calling out radicals like Zohran Mamdani, that's a wake-up call. I mean, there are people trying to import the ideologies of terrorist groups into American politics. And this is the moment that every American has to decide, which side of history do you want to be on? Now, over at ABC, they clearly want to be on the wrong side of a lawsuit again after George Stephanopoulos, as Trump likes to call him, is back at it, pushing at another made-up hoax instead of talking about what real Americans actually care about. It's the same script, the same spin, and probably the same lawyers they're going to need when the truth catches up to them. Watch the vice president here slowly dismantle the media's narrative, which isn't hard to do these days when the facts just simply are not on their side. All they really have is hearsay.
The White House border czar Tom Homan was recorded on an FBI surveillance tape in September 2024, accepting $50,000 in cash. Did he keep that money or give it back?
George, you've covered the story ad nauseum. Tom Homan did not take a bribe. It's a ridiculous smear.
You said he didn't take a bribe, but I'm not sure you answered the question. Are you saying that he did not accept the $50,000?
He did not take a bribe. Did he accept $50,000? I'm sure that in the course of Tom Homan's life, he has been paid more than $50,000 for services The question is, did he do something illegal? And there's absolutely no evidence that Tom Homan has ever taken a bribe or done anything illegal, which is why he's working in the administration.
I'm asking you, did he accept the $50,000 that was caught on the surveillance tape? Did he accept that $50,000 or not?
George, I don't know what you're talking about. Did he accept $50,000 for what?
He was recorded on an audio tape in September 2024, an FBI surveillance tape, accepting $50,000 in cash. Did he keep that money?
Accepting $50,000 for doing what, George? I'm not even sure I understand the question. Is it illegal to take a payment for doing services? The FBI has not prosecuted him. I've never seen any evidence that he's engaged in criminal wrongdoing. Nobody has accused Tom of violating a crime, even the far left media like yourself. So I'm actually not sure what the precise question is. Did he accept $50,000? Honestly, George, I don't know the answer to that question. What I do know is that he didn't violate a crime.
Are you catching on that the mainstream media just loves to peddle hoaxes of which they have no proof that they can offer in support of their story? I mean, it's always anonymous sources, and now it's a phantom tape nobody has ever heard of. Well, if that tape was real, then it was real under Joe Biden, which don't you think they would have blasted that on loop during Homan's confirmation hearing, turning it into an absolute circus? We've never heard a peep because it either doesn't exist or the so-called conversation was just a straight up legit payment for services from the border czar. The facts, they're never on the left side. And George clearly hasn't learned a darn thing after getting sued by Donald Trump back in 2024. Remember when Georgie Boy and his ABC cronies, they got hammered with a lawsuit after the Democrat activist, pretending to be an impartial journalist, spewed this garbage?
You've endorsed Donald Trump for president.
Right.
Donald Trump has been found liable for rape by a jury. Donald Trump has been found liable for defaming the victim of that rape by a jury. It's been affirmed by a judge.
It was not a criminal court case, number one. Number two, I live with shame. And you're asking me a question about my political choices, trying to shame me as a rape victim, and I find it disgusting.
The problem for George is Nancy Mace is exactly right. Trump was never found guilty in a criminal court. Therefore, the network was forced to settle and agreed to pay Trump $15 million. But even after all of that, George decides to go all in on this bribery hoax. And the vice president, he's had enough at this point. Watch him lay out the facts and educate George on what the American people actually care about. And the best part here is, the disgraced anchor, he gets so rattled, so utterly demolished by JD Vance's razor-sharp takedown, that he panics. He cuts off the vice president's mic and he bolts immediately to a commercial break like a total coward. Watch this.
You're talking for now 5 minutes with the Vice President of the United States about this story regarding Tom Homan, a story that I've read about, but I don't even know the video that you're talking about. Meanwhile, low-income women can't get food because the Democrats and Chuck Schumer have shut down the government. Right now, we're trying to figure out how to pay our troops because Chuck Schumer has shut down the government. You're focused on a bogus story. You're insinuating criminal wrongdoing against a guy who has done nothing wrong instead of focusing on the fact that our country is struggling because our government's shut down. Let's talk about the real issues, George. I think the American people would benefit much more from that than from you going down some weird left-wing rabbit hole where the facts clearly show that Tom Homan didn't engage in any criminal wrongdoing.
It's not a weird left-wing rabbit hole. I didn't insinuate anything. I asked you whether Tom Homan accepted $50,000, as was heard on an audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
No, George, I said that I don't.
Up next, we'll be right back.
How do you scream, "I've lost the argument," without uttering those words? You slam the mic shut on your opponent and you bail to commercial break. I mean, talk about a coward. And this isn't the first time George pulled this garbage on Vance. Flashback to 2024 during the Supreme Court showdown, he did the exact same thing. Take a look.
Abide by legitimate Supreme Court rulings, doesn't it?
You're talking about a hypothetical where the Supreme Court tries to run the military. I don't think that's going to happen, George. But of course, if it did, the president would have to respond to it. There are multiple examples throughout American history of the president doing just that.
You didn't say military in your answer, and you've made it very clear you believe the president can defy the Supreme Court. Senator, thanks for your time this morning.
No, George.
Roundtable's up next. We'll be right back.
There is an undeniable pattern here. Every time George gets cornered, exposed, and obliterated in a live debate, he panics and he hits the eject button. Every single time. Democrats, they've lost every major narrative. The border is secure. That was a lie. The Hunter Biden laptop is Russian disinformation. That was a hoax. And the fantasy, remember, that Joe Biden is the most productive president in history? That was a delusion. Then there was the economy is booming, or that global warming somehow sparked the Pacific Palisades fire. The American people just aren't buying it anymore. Now, while President Trump is out there actually securing peace in the Middle East, Democrats, they're busy playing political games, and they're keeping the government shut down. The contrast could not be sharper here. We have one side that is fighting for peace, prosperity, and the everyday victim of terror and failed Democrat policies, while the other side is just fighting to stay relevant. We'll see who wins this battle. Up next, Letitia James will make her first appearance in court in just a matter of days. Wait until you learn about the judge who has been assigned to this blockbuster case. It could tell you everything about the future of it. Go ahead, click on that video you see now on your screen, and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching today. Have a great rest of your week.